Today's topic is how to generate new ideas for your writing. If you've got 5 minutes, I've got 5 tips to help you find those new ideas. Are you one of those people who seems to think that there are no new ideas? Well, if you are, I disagree with you. Nobody wants to read the same thing over and over again, even if it is new ways of looking at the same kind of plotting, for example, in a mystery novel. They want to look at something new. They want to read something new. They want to learn something new. They want to look at it in a new way. So the point is, how are you going to find those new ideas? How can you generate things so that you have so many ideas that you have to write them down so quickly and then sift through them to figure out which of those you want to write about for the next writing project? So I've got 5 tips to help you do that. Tip number 1 is by far the most important one. It's very simple. Pay attention. Pay attention to what's going on around you. Pay attention to details. Stop looking in your telephone when you're walking down the street. Be in the world and absorb all of these new sensations. Years ago, I decided that I needed to improve my observational skills, and one of the ways that someone suggested to me that I do that was to take a sketching course, which I did. And it's amazing when you think about the kinds of detail that you don't notice when you're not focused on the visuals. That's a great way to help you to improve your focus on details. So pay attention to everything that's around you. Tip number 2 is check what's trending on social media. Now this is dangerous. It's really important for you to pay attention to what's going on in social media and to keep notes about trending topics, but it's also dangerous in that you can get sucked down that rabbit hole of social media and you can waste a whole lot of time that you could be spending on writing. Tip number 3 is read feature stories. And as far as I'm concerned, the odder the better. And when I say feature stories, I mean if you're looking at your news app every day, which I presume that you are. If you're a writer, you should be sifting through the news stories every day. Drill down into the unusual feature stories. Those are the treasure trove of ideas for your next writing. My 4th tip is a basic overall tip for writers in general, and that is that you should keep a journal. That you should journal, that you should write about anything that comes into your head. And in that journal, once you've written down ideas about what's happening to you in your daily life even, for example, then you begin to play a game with yourself, and it's called What If? What if? And keep writing, what if this happened, what if that happened, and drill down through those ideas. My final tip is kind of an unusual one, which was developed by writer Julia Cameron in her book, The Artist's Way. And this tip is to go on an artist date with yourself. This is where you go all by yourself to something like a museum. You go to an art gallery. You might go have dinner at a restaurant by yourself in some sort of an ethnic area of the city or your town and eat something that you wouldn't normally eat. Maybe you could even go to a fabric store and wander around and look at all the colors. You could walk around and go to a free concert. Now that's a lot easier if you happen to live in a city, but if you don't live in a city, then find some other artistic outlet that you can take yourself on and focus on that time for yourself. Then afterwards, go home and write about it. Now those are my 5 main tips for generating new ideas, and you might be saying to yourself, well, what about writing prompts? Those would probably come to your mind as being one of the most highly recognizable kinds of idea generators. And what I'm talking about are you go on the internet and you find writing prompts, and there are many websites that give you dozens and dozens and hundreds and thousands of writing prompts. Now they're great, but as far as I'm concerned, they're more important for you to practice your writing, not necessarily for you to generate ideas for your writing. And I'm going to recommend to you that for those of you who are visuals, that you might go over to the Moonlight Press YouTube channel and have a look at their visual writing prompts. It's a whole series. It's called Inspiration Snips. Have a look at that one. Well, that's all I have to say for today. I think it's time for me to get back to work. Subscribe to Write, Fix, Repeat, and maybe I can help you improve your writing knowledge and skills. 5 tips at a time.